Where are the aliens?
Or the aliens?
That's one of the Fermi paradox question.
Oumuamua, which is an object that we detected in space that you believe could possibly have been extraterrestrial in origin, meaning from some sort of a civilization.
Right. Elon Musk has just unleashed a staggering revelation that has a scientific world on the edge of its seat. Oumuamua, the enigmatic interstellar visitor from 2017, has made a dramatic return, and this time, it's not alone. And this time, the usual follow-up measurements of position and speed showed something completely different. This cigar-shaped visitor from another star system has left astrophysicists utterly shocked. Kinda like a little jet engine on the surface just gives it a little thrust over time. As Oumuamua re-enters our solar system, flanked by mysterious companions, the scientific community is buzzing with theories that grow wilder by the moment. Is this an exotic cosmic event, or are we witnessing technology from another civilization? Dive into this thrilling saga with us as we uncover the jaw-dropping secret behind one of the most perplexing phenomena in the annals of space exploration, the sensational return of Oumuamua. Elon Musk has confirmed the return of one of the most enigmatic phenomena in modern astronomy, Oumuamua. It all began when astronomers observed something unusual moving through our solar system. No one could explain it, but they agreed that it originated from beyond our solar system. It was the very first object to visit our part of the solar system from outside. Eventually, they named this unusual visitor Oumuamua, a Hawaiian term meaning scout or messenger from afar arriving first. Yet, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. It zipped past the sun and slingshot away, leaving more questions and answers in its wake. Now, it's back, but this time, it hasn't come alone. Things are getting more serious. Stick around for the chilling revelations ahead. You see, Oumuamua has not only captured the attention of astronomers, Elon Musk was among the first to comment on it publicly. SpaceX had just completed a deep space telescope project when their sensor data confirmed what astronomers had been stating. Oumuamua was back, traveling through our solar system. The initial arrival of Oumuamua had already unsettled the astronomical community, but now there were even more developments. Elon Musk deemed this potentially the most significant discovery in human history, urging governments and space agencies to take heed. According to Musk, we are either witnessing a natural phenomenon beyond our current comprehension or something far more puzzling. His emphasis indicated that this was no event to take lightly. This wasn't just another distant object from a solar system. The scientific community felt compelled to investigate. So, how did Oumuamua manage a second visit? This question led thousands of astronomical labs worldwide to confirm its return. It all began with an unusual signal detected by telescopes scanning the skies. Observers noticed something slicing through space at an atypical angle, unlike the usual trajectory of asteroids or comets. There was concern that it might be headed our way, possibly as an alien weapon, prompting trajectory calculations. Fortunately, the data indicated it was navigating interstellar space near ours, not directly targeting Earth. But then, scientists observed something else. This object was following the exact path as the original Oumuamua, almost as if retracing its steps. This realization suggested either Oumuamua had returned or a twin had appeared. Further sky searches revealed even more startling news. There wasn't just one object, but several. If Oumuamua had been a singular event, it might have been dismissed as an anomaly. But a second, nearly identical object shattered that notion, suggesting something larger was at play. These objects, entering from the void beyond our solar system twice in less than a decade, were unique. Like the first Oumuamua, they were elongated, cigar-shaped, lacking the usual comet or asteroid traits. They didn't emit gas trails when heated by the sun, nor did they behave like typical solid rock. Instead, they accelerated slightly, much like the original Oumuamua. However, there were differences this time. The second object wasn't alone. It had at least two companions trailing behind. The scientific community was better prepared this time. Since Oumuamua's initial visit in 2017, technology had advanced. Ground-based telescopes became more sophisticated, and multiple space agencies, alongside private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, operated high-resolution satellite cameras. This time, we could do more than merely observe. We could track these objects. Within days of the discovery, NASA and other space agencies mobilized to organize missions to study these intriguing visitors. Unlike in 2017, when we had only moments to react, these new objects have given scientists a rare chance for a follow-up study. SpaceX has announced its collaboration with NASA to accelerate the launch of a probe intended to study one of these objects up close before it disappears into deep space once more. However, this mission isn't a solo effort. Other nations are also stepping up. The Chinese Space Agency is planning its own initiative, while the European Space Agency is contemplating redirecting one of its existing probes for an interception. What once seemed an unattainable dream in 2017, launching missions to intercept interstellar visitors, is now within our technological reach. The urgency of this global response is warranted. If these are not just random fragments of ice and rock, but something altogether different, humanity needs to comprehend their nature before they depart again. Let's revisit the scientific discourse surrounding Oumuamua, which began with its first sighting back in 2017. The initial debates revolved around whether Oumuamua was a comet, an asteroid, or something even more enigmatic. Some speculated that it could be an artificial probe from an alien civilization. However, without evidence, these ideas remain speculative. Now, with new data, those debates have reignited. The troubling aspect is that these new objects do not conform to the expected behavior of natural celestial debris. Instead of decelerating or following predictable gravitational paths, they are accelerating in unexpected ways, akin to Oumuamua's behavior. One theory suggests that this acceleration may be due to outgassing, where internal ice heats up, turns to gas, and propels the object. However, the lack of visible gas emissions or comet-like tails challenges this theory. These objects move smoothly and consistently without any observable gas release. For figures like Elon Musk and others in the private space sector, these objects seem more likely to be artificial than natural. Some space theorists suggest this could signal the onset of a new phenomenon, one we are only beginning to recognize. If these objects are not just rocks but serve a purpose, what might that purpose be? Are they simply passing through, or are they here to observe? Currently, the world's leading scientists are committed to tracking these objects, collecting data, and preparing missions, yet definitive answers remain elusive. To better understand the context, let's revisit the initial discovery of Oumuamua in 2017. On an otherwise unremarkable day in space observation, October 19, 2017, Robert Weirich, a scientist, was analyzing data from the Pan-STARRS telescope at Haleakala Observatory in Hawaii. The telescope was part of a routine sky scan aimed at detecting asteroid potentially on a collision course with Earth. That's when they stumbled upon what would be known as Oumuamua, the first known interstellar comet to originate from beyond our solar system. At first glance, it seemed just like another space rock, but further investigation revealed anomalies. Oumuamua was moving too rapidly for something native to our solar system. Unlike typical asteroids or comets that follow predictable orbits influenced by the sun or planets such as Jupiter, Oumuamua was traversing space at an unusual angle, not orbiting the sun in the expected manner. Weirich reviewed older telescope images and discovered that this object had already passed Earth unnoticed and was quickly moving away. By the time the scientific community understood what they were observing, Oumuamua had already left our solar system. This marked the first time humanity had witnessed an object from another star system up close. Discovered in Hawaii, it was named Oumuamua, which means scout or messenger from afar in Hawaiian. Nonetheless, the nature of this object remained a mystery. It was unlike anything previously observed. Robert Weirich continued to observe Oumuamua, noting that it was spinning and tumbling with a rotation period of approximately 7.3 hours. The most perplexing aspect was its acceleration. Harvard professor A.V.I. Loeb suggested a bold theory. Oumuamua might not be a natural object at all, but rather an artificial construct, possibly a probe from an alien civilization. Loeb theorized that the acceleration could be attributed to some form of propulsion, either remotely controlled or piloted from within. Most scientists remain skeptical of such extraterrestrial explanations, yet they also could not conclusively define what Oumuamua was. By the time its significance was fully acknowledged, it was too late for any spacecraft to pursue it for closer study. All that remained were the rushed telescope observations and data, no samples, no close-up imagery. This situation left the astronomical community in a state of frustration, having missed a unique opportunity to explore an object from beyond our solar system. Had it been detected sooner, a probe could have been launched, potentially yielding definitive answers rather than mere speculation. As Oumuamua ventured further from the sun in 2017, telescopes tracked its path until it faded from view, becoming too faint to observe. By early 2018, scientists anticipated another interstellar visitor, but had no idea when or what form it would take. Even after Oumuamua disappeared, debates about its nature continued unabated. In response, NASA, ESA, and SpaceX began quietly preparing for future encounters, determined not to miss another opportunity. Then, years later, Oumuamua reappeared, this time accompanied by what seemed to be its siblings. Here's where we explore some of the most intriguing scientific theories about Oumuamua. Oumuamua's unique dimension sparked significant discussion. It was estimated to measure between 240 meters and 400 meters in length, but only about 35 meters in width, resembling a cigar more than a typical asteroid. It was tumbling chaotically, which was unusual, as such motion should have stabilized over millions of years in space. Its reddish color was also atypical, possibly indicating a surface covered with organic materials that are common on some icy celestial bodies. Harvard professor A.V.I. Loeb proposed that Oumuamua might be artificial, specifically suggesting the light sail theory. Known for his work in astrophysics, Loeb theorized that if Oumuamua were thin and light, solar photons would propel it, much like a light sail uses sunlight for propulsion. This concept isn't science fiction. Earth-based projects like LightSail 2 in 2019 and the Breakthrough Starshot Initiative have explored similar technologies. Oumuamua's shape may have been flat rather than cigar-like, ideal for a light sail, which could explain its acceleration. There's also the idea that Oumuamua could be an ancient probe, much like the voyages we sent out with messages about Earth. If it's from an extinct civilization, it may have been drifting for eons, long after its creators disappeared. However, no signals were detected from Oumuamua, which could be explained if it was designed for stealth or had lost functionality over time. The Breakthrough Listen project attempted to detect any signals, but silence persisted, which could indicate the probe was either passive or no longer operational. Another intriguing theory suggests that Oumuamua could be an abandoned spacecraft that has drifted aimlessly for millennia. If it had been constructed by an advanced civilization, its systems might have failed long ago, leaving behind only a shell. This perspective invites us to consider how future civilizations might interpret our own space debris. Despite these theories, many scientists prefer natural explanations, such as an unusual comet or exotic ice formations, even though these explanations come with their own problems. While the artificial hypothesis is controversial, it cannot be completely dismissed, as there is no flawless natural explanation. The regret over not studying Oumuamua closer has spurred advancements. When operational, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile will scan the sky comprehensively, potentially spotting interstellar objects much earlier. Moreover, proposals like Project Lara aim to launch high-speed probes to chase down future visitors for direct study. If another object like Oumuamua arrives, it could either be a natural phenomenon or something undeniably artificial, potentially altering our understanding of the universe. The lack of a concrete plan for encountering alien technology leaves room for debate on whether to engage or defend against such findings. A.V.I. Loeb's Galileo project seeks physical evidence of extraterrestrial technology, not just signals. Additionally, events like the 2014 meteor CEOs the 8th of January, 2014, which was later confirmed as Interstellar, and fast radio bursts remind us of the mystery still lurking in space. In conclusion, the universe continues to surprise us, and each new discovery, like Oumuamua, pushes the boundaries of our knowledge and technology, compelling us to be ever more prepared for the unknown.